What's up, summoners, and welcome back to another ProGuides Wild Rift video. My name is Nico, and in today's video we are going to take a look at the new patch and its changes. Are you ready? Because a lot of things are about to change. As a preview for this patch, we'll receive 19 new or reworked items in addition to a few new champions and major updates to the ranked experience. No more promotion series, and we're getting a champion ban system. Improvements to the Wild Rift Pass, automatic highlights in combination with gold, and overall system adjustments. But let's start with the elephant in the room, Akshan the Rogue Sentinel. He's very likely to be a meta-defining character that's going to claim the Rift by storm. His kit combines so many features of different roles, and we're curious to see how far he can go. Rather than bombarding you with this info, it would be easier to check out the champion preview video we made. You'll get to see all of his abilities on the PC version, so you can create your own picture and start up the hype train. But now let's hop into a bit more detailed view of the patch. The new season began before the new patch hit the game. Kind of weird if you ask me, but it is what it is. However, we just had to wait a little bit longer to get access to our lovely new items and systematic changes. Let's start with the bans. They're finally coming, and they'll work like this. The last 3 players on each team simultaneously ban 1 champion each. This way we are finally being saved from Lee Sin, coinflip ganking, and all the other obnoxious picks you never want to see again in your games. A great addition with even more potential in the future, as they'll increase those bans to 5 per team once they add more champions to the game. The next change features the removal of promotional series. You all know you play and play and play to get into your promo, but then happen to lose. All of your progress is now reset, and for what exactly? Specifically for that reason, and tackling the frustration that happens after losing your promo, Riot chose to just get rid of them. However, they'll closely monitor the impact of this change to see if it is or remains healthy for the game. Something you'll all be glad to hear about are the further improvements made to the Wild Pass. More modes, Poro coins and energy, more than enough to buy a champion with just the extra modes from the pass. And even for players that choose to not buy it, more free rewards are coming in as well. Don't you worry, if free sounds good already, you might even get your friends to gift it to you, cause that's possible now. Best of all though, all these changes won't impact its price. That's pretty sick if you ask me. Another nice feature, especially for those who are eager to share their plays, is the upcoming highlights feature. From multi-kills to dragon steals, your best moments will be automatically recorded, including your inputs. To make it even easier to use, you can review and save them to your local storage on your phone at the end of the game stats screen. We are also happy to see improvements to the replay and spectate feature. Being able to toggle both teams' vision, a newly designed HUD for a better teamfight experience, and overall improvements to the user interface in all modes. One of the largest improvements is also the change that allows you to accurately keep track of your missions. No more searching around and guessing how it's going. You'll now see it at the end of the game. Glorious. For the collectors, we also have insane skin themes on the table. The Sentinel and Ruin theme get 3 new skins each, and honestly, they are pretty sick. So brace yourselves and your wallets for Sentinel, Irelia, Riven and Vayne. They look illegally well made. With the Ruin theme, we have the other big addition to the game, and here we'll get to see Ruined Raven, Misfortune and Shyvana. And let me tell you this, Shyvana's skin is mind-blowing. It's probably one of the most insane skins you can ask for. If you take a look at its version on PC, you're actually going to just buy it right off the bat, even if you don't play the game. It's just too goddamn good. And last but not least, we have a Battle Academia skin for your new champion Akshan and Hexplorer Teemo. Before we continue with today's video, make sure to check out our Discord in the description below. From regular giveaways to community events, you can find everything you want from a gaming community there. What are you waiting for? Come by and join the ProGuides family. The next neat addition for collectors are more icons. Icon borders, emotes, recalls and more. It just looks too good. I need them all. But let's be honest here, what about emotes that display your rank like on League PC? Make them a progression reward you may earn. And with that, let's jump to our question of the day. What else would you wish for when ending a season with a specific rank? Do you feel like the skin and banner are enough, or do you wish for something else, like an emote for example? As per usual, let us know in the comments below. However guys, it's time for the guts of this patch, the buff, nerf and new or changed item part. Let's go! Amumu is getting a bug fix on his 3rd ability. This won't change anything for Haido, but might do some tricks in lower brackets. Keep in mind, Amumu is still an easy to pilot and yet highly efficient pick, so don't shy away from picking him when you are not far up the ladder. The next champion with a buff is Ashe. Her 3rd ability, reveal duration, is increased by 2 seconds and she's able to turn her arrow a bit more. That's some quality of life and impactful change in one go. Also stay tuned when it comes to the new items, which we'll tackle a bit later. Another quality of life change and actually a major buff comes to Fizz. His 2nd ability now applies Fizz's passive in a 175 radius around the target. I think it could impact his jungle clear and his laning power by a lot and might even upset some matchups in the future. Really curious to explore this pick throughout the patch, and especially with the changed Protobelt interaction we get some more playmaking potential. This patch, Grace is receiving one of the biggest changes. He is getting changes to his base stats, spells and items he's going to build, so let's take a look at it. Grace's base health and base damage go down a bit, but he gets more AD per level. End of the line's cooldown is reduced and gets an insane AD scaling buff. With that, we might be seeing Graves become more popular, and to top it off, Quick Draw grants more armor. With Katarina flying under the radar, even though she's still an insane pick for solo queue, she's receiving an adjustment to her ultimate ability. Her ultimate is now going to reduce healing by 60% rather than 50%. Maybe this little adjustment, which is a buff, will get people to play her more often. I mean, she's still an insane pick. The next upcoming nerf hits Lucian, but is it hard enough? His base HP, armor, magic resist per level, mana regen and movement speed go down, but I personally don't think that's going to do anything. It's a nerf, yes, but it's not tackling what makes him strong as a champion. With the new items in mind, he'll be an absolute monster. So if we talk about meaningful nerfs, I think touching his first ability's range would be the most impactful yet not overbearing nerf. Finally, all Rengar players rejoice. You may now use Ferocity empowered Battle Roar to heal. This might look like a small bug fix, but it's an insane buff. In addition to that, we are also finally freed from his passive bug. Ferocity is your friend, and now it will always grant you the extra Ferocity from attacking an enemy in melee range from a brush with 0 Ferocity. Before that, you didn't get any, which is a huge damage loss as you require more time to stack up an empowered spell. Similar to Katarina, Varus is also getting an adjustment to his healing reduction. However, it's a nerf in this case as it's going down from 50 to 40%. Nothing too major for him to move up or down in tiers, but with the items in mind he might drop in priority a lot. Infamous for being permanently banned in competitive, we have another slight change coming to Ziggs. His second ability's execution threshold to towers is reduced by 5%, forcing him to input more attacks to take down those structures. Another placebo nerf that doesn't tackle why Ziggs is such an insane pick, but it's going to help with his strengths of taking down towers, at least a little bit. It would be a big patch if there wasn't a change to Aram. Cannon minions now detect traps, so no more shrooms. Yep, that's it, and we'll be able to play Aram from the 11th of August to the 9th of September. Save the date. Okay guys, time for the new items. Crystalline Reflector is an AP item that grants armor and ability haste. Furthermore, casting spells grant you a mirror shard that block physical damage and return damage at the same time. This item sounds like an interesting choice, but the main question is when to exactly complete this item, as generally building Seeker's Armguard should achieve a similar goal. Seeker's Armguard grants armor and AP for a small price tag and should keep you safe enough without being forced to complete the Reflector. But we have to be patient and see how it plays out. Essence Reaver is the next item. It's an AD item with crit and ability haste that also features a unique passive called Essence Flare, which fundamentally functions the same as a Spellblade item. Cast a spell, deal more damage on your next auto attack, however with a unique restriction. The same ability can only trigger this effect once per unique target per cast. Did anyone say Lucian? Corki? Anyone? Another new crit item comes in the form of Navari Quickblades. This item grants AD, crit ability haste and a new passive called Death Strikes. Critical hits with basic attacks reduce your basic abilities cooldown by 15%. One champion who didn't get any love for so long is going to love this item. Welcome Tryndamere. We miss you and we're eager to see you rise again, and Zarya will be close by. Prophet's Pendant takes the place of the old Oblivion Orb as it's getting changed. It has the same core function as the old orb, so basically just an old item with a new name to change another item called Oblivion Orb. This item now provides anti-healing properties similar to Executioner's and gives AP champions an option to itemize anti-healing without committing too much gold. The next new item is Serilda's Grudge. It's an armor pen item that features AD, ability haste and a new passive ability called Bitter Cold. With this, your ability damage is going to slow the enemy, and I think this will be a scary item on Lucian. Finally, an alternative for Mortal Reminder, and a pretty good one at that. More love for enchanters with Staff of Flowing Water. An AP item that grants mana, a lot of AP, ability haste, and you guessed it right, a passive ability. Healing or shielding any ally with this item grants you and them 20 ability haste and up to 40 ability power for 4 seconds. Lux was a competitive pick before, and maybe now she's going to be the most prominent one. Nonetheless, it's an insane buff to all enchanters, no more mana issues. With Stormrazor, we have yet another new AD crit item that features attack damage, crit, attack speed and energize, and a pyrolyze passive. Contrary to other energize items such as Static Shift and Rapid Fire Cannon, this item's effect slows the enemy by 75% for a brief duration. Technically speaking, building this plus statics should make Statics Lightning slow all targets that are hit. Perhaps the resurgence of long forgotten ADs such as Jhin and Jinx? Solari Charge Blade is a new Zeal item that features attack speed, crit rate, ability haste, and a new passive called Sunburst. After using an ability, you're granted bonus crit chance up to 3 stacks. Whenever you deal a critical strike, now you'll expend 1 charge of that passive to deal extra true damage on hit, and this damage is increased up to 150% on low health targets. We all might start hating this item as it brings back Yasuo into this game, and who likes Yasuo apart from Yasuo mains? Finally, a new magic resistance item. Wit's End is a cheap offensive item that grants magic resistance, attack speed, and a lot of on-hit damage with conditional sustain. Once you're below 50% health, you'll start healing for its on-hit damage. Luckily, range champions only heal for 33%, but melee champions are healed for 100% of its effect. By the way, that's probably the most healing you can get from a single item, and it's very likely built on bruisers such as Jax and others. To make the patch even more appealing to AD players, we are also getting a reworked Bloodthirster. Its cost is reduced by 200 gold and it loses 25 AD, but we gain 25% crit chance in exchange for that. So will every AD build now get to 100% crit? If so, that's crazy amounts of damage. More adjustments are coming. Bramblevest is losing a bit of its healing reduction effect to make it less efficient as it's going down from 50% to 40%. But its completed variant Thornmail is the recipient of a buff which increases the cut healing by 10% if you immobilize an enemy. Executioner's Calling got its passive renamed and Infinity Orb changed up its build path, but that's all there is to it. Sorry guys. However, Morellonomicon received an upfront nerf to its healing reduction but a conditional buff. Healing reduction before the enemy hits 50% HP down by 10%, but when he drops sub 50% it's increased by 10% up to 60%. A similar change is coming to Mortal Reminder. Upfront healing reduction down, but after hitting the enemy with 3 consecutive attacks puts it at 60%. We are sad to see you go, and Senna will lose quite a few tiers over your departure. Frozen Mallet will be removed and its main customer Senna will be left in the dust until new builds arrive. With this, we see probably one of the most welcome changes to the Baron lane. Grasp is losing 25% of its damage as it's going down from 4% to 3% max HP damage. A clear message to all champions that build Ruby Crystals: you're not welcome here, but this won't be enough to make them leave though. Now, let's look at the systematic changes. An early surrender period at 5 minutes requiring all 5 players to vote yes has been added. You also may now ping ults, sums and items on the scoreboard. Also being able to see what actually killed you in your death recap is quite a nice addition to the game. Overall, one improvement among a few others that increase visibility in the game. Herald has its spawn changed to 4 minutes equal to the dragon spawn. That might upset the meta more than you think, and I'm happy to see this change but also afraid at the same time. Similar to the other anti-healing changes, we are also seeing a buff to Ignite as its anti-healing is increased to 60%. The next systematic change is a nerf to all players. For the first 8 minutes, you lose 0.5 gold per second as your passive income is reduced from 4 to 3.5 per second. However, after passing the 8th minute mark, you gain 0.5 more gold per second as it was previously reduced to 3 per second. Another change to the gold income happens in the bounty department as they adjust bounty values throughout the game. Another insane quality of life change are changes to the target lock system. New features that allow you to target the closest target and active target filtering will help you out to never mess up your plays again. Overall, a huge upgrade to its previous functionality. And since we all know that MOBAs happen to be toxic quite often, we are also seeing improvements to the report system. AFK adjustments, permaban marks and an improved reporting feature are just part of what's coming, so you might feel the impact of your reports more often. And last but not least, check out the free-to-play champion rotation. And again, we are at the end of today's video. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as replying to our question of the day in the comments down below. See you next time.